Good afternoon. A southern Alberta sawmill has suspended logging in the Castle Wilderness area until the Alberta government has completed a land use strategy. Cochrane-based Spray Lakes Logging says it's not expecting to do any logging this year, but still has to recover some of the cut wood that was harvested over the past winter. Local residents are urging the government to permanently cancel logging in the region. Terry Vogt reports.
Spray Lake Sawmills held an open house in the Crow's Nest Pass to outline its latest plans for harvesting timber in southwestern Alberta. The company is partway through a 3-year license for what's known as the Castle Special Place north of Waterton. But company representatives say they won't resume logging until the government has finalized the South Saskatchewan Regional Land Use Plan.
And then we'll get a direction in terms of whether we go forward with the license as per what's been the plan up to this point, or whether it's going to get cancelled and we move to a different area.
Many local residents are opposed to logging in the castle. They've held demonstrations and have tried to stop it through the courts. They're disappointed the company was even allowed to start logging in the first place.
We're pleased that years 2 and 3 have been put on hold for the time being, but we need to make that permanent now and make the logging, cease the logging entirely.
We just simply cannot afford to lose that much more forest in the castle.
Local guide and outfitter Mike Judd recently flew over the logged area and took some photographs. He says it was much bigger than he expected.
It's not really visible from the highway to Castle Mountain, so I think that most of the public wouldn't get the impression that much had happened there. But from the air, it's a very significant piece of the forest that's gone.
But Spray Lake says the land is currently zoned for multiple use, and that's how it's being managed.
Right now it is not protected, it is not zoned for recreation or set aside in any manner.
If the company is allowed to resume logging, it expects to remove about 5,000 truckloads of timber between 2014 and 2017. They're also hoping for a decision as quickly as possible so they can get on with their plans and not prolong the conflict. Terry Vogt, CTV News, in the Crow's Nest Pass.
The Castle Crown Wilderness Coalition is asking the Alberta government to review all logging on the eastern slopes, which is home to several threatened species, including the grizzly bear. While we're all loving the great weather, the drier conditions are causing concerns about wildfires. Here's a look at just how susceptible many parts of the province are to fire right now. The areas in red show where fire bans have been issued. There are nearly 20 wildfires currently burning in Alberta. A fire ban is in place in the county of Vulcan. Fire prevention notices have also been effected for the counties of Lethbridge, Warner, Newell, and Cypress, as well as the MD of Pincher Creek. Now, a prevention notice means that you're asked to use extreme caution and care for all burning activities. Well, the warmer weather also means a lot of melting snow in the mountains, meaning there is an increased risk for waterways to flood. A stream flow advisory is now in effect for a number of BC rivers, including those in the Kootenay region. And let's talk about just how great this forecast is, Dory Rossiter.
Absolutely. We're looking at a lot of sunshine over the next few days, Jackie. Originally, we thought, things may be slightly cooling off on Monday, but it looks like we'll still be in the 30-degree range when we hit Monday in a lot of areas, some areas in the high 20s. But all in all, it's just going to be a very warm weekend, and I'll have all the details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Dory. The maximum youth sentence for manslaughter. That's what a judge handed down this afternoon to 3 teens who shot a 5-year-old boy dead as he slept. Ethan Yellowbird was shot in the head as he slept in his bed on the Hobbema Reserve in 2011. The teens admitted they were taking turns shooting at the home with a rifle to scare members of a rival gang. Today, the judge called it domestic terrorism and sentenced them to 2 years in youth custody. One boy won't spend any more time behind bars because of time already served. The other 2 will be locked up. 29-year-old Lethbridge man is facing a number of charges, including impaired driving and drug trafficking, after an early morning traffic stop on the north side in Lethbridge. It was just after 3 in the morning when police noticed that a vehicle was being driven erratically. The driver initially gave officers a false name, but he was identified and found to have outstanding warrants. During a search of the vehicle, police discovered over 130 grams of cocaine, some oxycodone, marijuana, and other drugs. Joseph Ali Shama of Lethbridge was taken into custody, made his first court appearance earlier today. Well, half a dozen government inspectors are at 2 Brooks long-term care facilities right now, combing through documents after allegations of senior abuse and neglect. Family members of patients at Sunrise Gardens and Orchard Manor say residents weren't given proper medical attention when they were injured, and medications were missed or wrong altogether. Jeanette Roche reports.
As far as I'm concerned, when you give a notice that you're coming to do an inspection, it's just an inspection.
Family members of some of the residents of 2 aged care facilities in Brooks say their relatives have been abused, malnourished, and neglected by the staff at Sunrise Gardens and Orchard Manor.
My grandma recently had breast cancer and had a breast removed from breast cancer, and she has been made fun of by nurses in the bathtub about missing a breast.
For one thing, staffing. They're short, really short on staff. The food is just terrible. I mean, I invite the owners and managers to sit down and eat the food there for a week, and I think there'd be some changes made.
We're told over the past 3 to 4 years, family complaints to management have gone unnoticed. Gina Smith is a healthcare aide who was fired from Sunrise Gardens last year for speaking out about what she saw in her 5 years there.
That made you? I spoke out against, people being very rough with the residents, people talking down to them, telling them, you shouldn't say that, or, why do you need to go to the bathroom yet again when we just toileted you like 10 minutes ago.
On Thursday, MLA Jason Hale accompanied families to Edmonton to speak face-to-face with Health Minister Horn.
He's saying that they're just specific instances. One-offs, but I think after the stories that he heard from the family members and the letters that I presented him from family members in town and the area that he's realizing it's not just a one-off case.
Our families were afraid to talk. I'm here today. I'm a little edgy, but someone's got to get up there and do it.
Neither facility would allow media inside, but the COO of Aged Care did tell CTV over the phone that they're committed to providing the best quality care they can and that the incidents in question are currently being audited. Jeanette Roche, CTV News, Brooks.
Now today, as we mentioned, both facilities were inspected by health officials, but there's no word yet on the results of their investigation or how long it will take. It appears more people were looking for jobs last month in the Lethbridge, Medicine Hat regions. The local unemployment rate jumped from 4.8% in March to 5% in April. And it appears that Canadians will not be facing new fees when they cross the border into the United States. A U.S. Senate committee has rejected a proposal to collect fees at land border crossings. Government House Leader Peter Van Loan says he is pleased with the decision, saying new fees would have been very damaging to both the Canadian and American economies. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security had wanted Congress to authorize the study of a new border fee. Well, the province of Alberta is moving ahead with a plan to scrap provincial achievement tests for grades 3, 6, and 9. New computer-based exams will be phased in, replacing the existing multiple-choice tests. The 30-year-old way of testing has been criticized for not reflecting 21st century learning. Many say this decision is a positive step forward.
As an educator, we're always taught to teach to the way that the students learn, and our curriculum was focused on student learning and the way students learn, and then at the end of the year we all plopped them with the same assessment, which didn't match with the way teachers were teaching kids in class. And my question was always, are we teaching what children know, or are we teaching them if they know how to write a multiple choice exam?
Third grade students will be the first to write the new tests in 2014. They'll write them at the start of the year, so teachers and parents will be able to determine a child's strengths and weaknesses and then work on those throughout the year. Lethbridge's musical mayor was rocking the house last night. Mayor Rayco Dodick took center stage for a playground fundraiser at Westminster School, joining Dory Rossiter and Moon Dancer for one of the sets. The mayor was taking care of business and did some twisting and shouting to get the total up higher and higher. Last night's event raised about $16,000, which will go towards building a new barrier-free playground for the school and community.
we want to incorporate the nature that's around, and we want to be environmental. Old Westie is over there, which is a historic tree in the neighborhood, so we want to include that, and we want to really make this a community place where people in the Westminster area, in the north side here, can come down and enjoy and have a great time as a family.
Scotiabank has donated more than $11,000 to the project. The new playground will cost $225,000. It's becoming more and more prevalent than Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis. Unlike those diseases, there is still no cure for it. We're talking about Crohn's and ulcerative colitis, which are two types of inflammatory bowel disease. The 25th annual CCFC barbecue goes tomorrow afternoon at M&M meat shops across the country, including in Lethbridge. The event helps raise millions of dollars. The proceeds go towards research to finding a cure. In Canada, there are more than 200,000 people living with the chronic illness. 4 people in southern Alberta are diagnosed with Crohn's or colitis every day.
Yeah, we really want to try to just raise awareness and raise funds to help improve the quality of life of those who are suffering, and to help raise funds to find a cure so that no one has to go through this anymore.
Now the barbecue being held at both M&M meat shops in Lethbridge runs from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Well, it's Mother's Day on Sunday, and we wanted to know what makes your mom special.
I don't know, that she's been there for me for 17 years now.
My mom's a solid woman, you know, she's been there my whole life and do anything for me, actually, you know.
She can be very nice.
Why doesn't that sound believable?
Yeah. She's fantastic.
She is very nice to me and she gives me my allowance.
Name the 13th Prime Minister.
13th Prime Minister.
I'm just kidding. What's the best thing about your mom?
The best thing about my mom is that she's always encouraged me to do my best, like even through high school and everything.
A big happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there from us here at CTV, especially to our moms for putting up with us. Time now for a look at the markets.